Hello friends, my name is Olga and I'm Ukrainian refugee and Ukrainian medical student. I want to tell you about some of the most important events we have in Ukraine now, maybe something you didn't know. First of all, we on the 24th of August, in few days we will have Independence Day, and Independence Day, it is really very important day for everyone in the world, I think, for every country, for every independent country, because it's really important, and independence means that this country can protect its own values, its own people. So of course, every year in Ukraine we have celebrations with crowded streets, main squares, and the mostly crowded Hryshchatyk. It is main street near Maidan Nezalezhnosti. It is the main square of Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. It is really very crowded. And last years we had mostly some military parades, but not always. Sometimes there was without any equipment. But of course, this Independence Day is really very special because we have full war, and not just some conflict as it was in the 2014 somewhere on the east, but today all country involved in war, and all cities can be goals for Russian missiles. Unfortunately, there is no any safe place so far. Only one region, it is Chernivtsi region, is that a place where not even once, never Russian missiles striked, so it is kind of the most, I think, safe region now, the Chernivtsi region and the Chernivtsi city. And by the way, it is really very beautiful. Okay, let's return to Independence Day. Of course, our government and all people understand that crowded people on the street in Independence Day, in that time when Russians, they want to destroy Ukrainian independence, it's really very attractive goal for them to strike by some, I don't know, use some massive strike by missiles to make our air defense system be overloaded, and some missile on sure will hit, strike and kill a lot of people on the square. So our government decided to not celebrate this Independence Day, and said that this day will be just simple working day without any holiday even, and from the 22 to 25th of August people should not gather in big crowds, and they should be really very attentive because of this threat. What is worrying, seeing that a week ago Russians, they started to deliver to Belarus a lot of S-300 and S-400 system. It is anti-air defense system, but they upgraded them before and make the system that can launch the system the same, but upgraded, and it can launch missiles. And they delivered to Belarus in numerous quantity before Independence Day. And you understand for what? So the threat is really essential, and of course that's why our government decided do not celebrate this Independence Day. It's like one more confirmation that we shouldn't do that this year. And that fact that Belarusian border is the closest border to Kyiv, is just 150 kilometers approximately to our capital. So it's definitely the distance, it's not far, and it is normal for Russian missiles to reach that. So that is the news we have now from the Kyiv. What is on the east today? The front line, the Russians attack almost stopped. They do not attack. They do not capture any more big territories on all directions. Now, on the contrary, Ukraine on the south, on the Crimea, we destroy bridges, we destroy warehouses with shells. We make these troops weaker, much more weaker, and sit without shells, without possibility to make strikes, make bombardments, make destruction, and actually go to attack. And so that is the problem, of course, for Russians. And the two main goals for us, as I told in some, I wrote in my, I wrote, okay, that is Sevastopol warehouses with caliber missiles, where they deposited them and where they bring them, deliver them to the submarines and to warships, and then these warships and submarines may launch these caliber missiles. So that is, I think, the most important and really essential goal for Ukrainian army. The second goal, it is Crimean bridge or Kerchian bridge, because it is on the Ukrainian territory, starts from the near city of Kerch. You heard about there some explosions, but there was some air defense, Russian air defense systems. So I believe that it is now protected, and Crimean bridge, it's much more harder goal for us, because it is quite far from Ukrainian position. It is really hard to get there. I don't know, for Ukrainian troops, for quadricopters, some for aircraft. So definitely it is really too far. But Sevastopol warehouses and port and some ships there, it is really very good goal, and I think that in nearest weeks we also will hear about explosions there. You know that the Belbek, it is military airport near Sevastopol. It is the biggest airport. It is military, but most of the presidents or ministers who rested in the southern coast of the Black Sea, there is a state, some dacha, state house for rest of all presidents was in USSR times, and it is stayed there. And I think now Yanukovych, our former president, rested there before, and I think that some maybe Russian ministers or even Putin could rest there. So it is not far from Sevastopol, from Belbek, and this country houses is near Foros and Oliva and other very beautiful places, and not crowded. So that's why they this very important people, they rest there. And so they used this military airport for their state planes, and now it is destroyed. And Ukrainian experts told that there on this airport, in the time of explosions, Ukrainian army made was 40 aircrafts. So now Russian Navy, were warships that can carry some airplanes. They lost the half of these airplanes of Russian Navy. So it is essential losses for them, definitely we made. And what about Donetsk and Donbass? It is opposite the most successful so-called direction for Russian army. I told you that the front line almost stopped on the all in all places, but not in near Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, Bakhmut, because there in the east they try to capture Donetsk region, all territory, and they try to capture all this and this city. The most important is city Slavyansk, because there is a station from which all water pipes with drinking water, they feed Donbass, they feed Donetsk, nearest towns, some Zaporizhia regions. These water pipes, it's really very important, and for Russians this station to capture, it's really the priority goal, priority direction, because they could then make the situation with water in Donbass and captured Mariupol much more better. As our experts, military experts, say that in Donetsk, occupied powers, they for them it's possible to give water to simple people who stayed and live there only 3 hours per 3 days. So they just may have 3 hours to fill their buckets, some maybe bath, got a shower, I don't know, cook something, and of course, as I told you, fill the buckets for drinking, drink this water for 3 days. But this occupational government, they announced that soon their water delivery will be not like that. They will deliver it for 3 hours each 6 days. So it means people will have 3 hours of water to fill their anything like buckets, like something for drinking, only actually for a week. So it's the situation with water in Donetsk and in, I think, its towns. It is really catastrophic. It is really very bad, and it will be worse. So for Russians, it is really very important to capture Slavyansk and open and control this water station. The situation in Mariupol, they captured few months ago, even worse, because they made some essential event from that. Some cars, some long vehicles delivered water in big to say, I forgot. Okay, they delivered water in bottles, yes, in big bottles of plastic to Mariupol from Donetsk. So that is something really like celebrations that Mariupol will got some water. Mariupol people will got some water. I can remind you that 6 months ago, before Russian invasion, people in Mariupol, they have normal flats with 24 hours each day water, hot and cold. They have electricity, they have everything that normal people have, and now they have celebration because there was some bottles of water delivered from Donetsk that also suffered from the water crisis, not enough water to Mariupol. That's what kind of situation happens in the territories Russian occupied and freed from Ukrainian government. You understand that, of course, there is problem with medicaments, and I understand what just happens to people who they dependent on some medicaments, something they should take some pills maybe daily, or they have, I don't know, some diabetes, some arterial high pressure or something, or other disease like a kidney problem, heart problem. It needs almost all the time medicine, but they had not such opportunity to get it. And of course, it is problems with clothes, for example, and other things. So the situation in occupied territories, it's just terrible. I think that maybe that is all for okay, I can also tell you about the meeting in Lviv not maybe a few days ago. President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and Antonio Guterres, they met with Zelensky and they proposed to make some conversation with him and Putin, and of course they wanted to Putin wants to legalize this territory he captured, and seems like they said, okay, we don't want war, we don't want your people, soldiers die and civilian people die, let's just stop and with that front line and let's Putin take this part. But no, Zelensky told that no, we just will talk to Putin if we will when he will free all territories of Ukraine, and including Crimea and including so-called Donetsk and Luhansk people republics. So you understand why, maybe because, for example, where I'm living, people, they do not understand why Ukrainian government don't want to stop war, because it will be better, people will stop to dying. I mean that we had such a situation in 2014. Yes, we stopped the war, and what happens next? Russia just get more forces, became more prepared, get more strong army, learned from some mistakes before, and attacked again. So if we will stop now, if we will make some agreements with Putin, will be the same like second time. Ukraine will wait, and Russia, of course, Ukraine will not wait, will prepare, but anyway, Russia will again take some forces, will prepare for the next war. So we should win this war, we shouldn't stop, and this conversation, it just delays the war. Because if there conflict, should be a winner and should be a loser, and until Russia will not be a winner or a loser, Russia will not stop this war. Putin will not stop this war. Okay, we will make some agreements with Putin, but this war will be delayed for, okay, 5 years, 10 years, but then he will start it again with a new possibilities, with new power. So I guess we do not have any other now, any other possibility, any other option, just to connect, just to sorry, just to continue this war, and we just have to win now. We don't have to make some communication with President Putin. You remember that Recep Tayyip Erdogan, before this visit to Lviv, he had a long conversation with Putin in the Sochi city. So before this meeting, he had a meeting with Putin. So I guess Putin asked him to help stop this war and to help him illegalize this territory he captured. And then for 5 years, for some years, he will enforce his army, get some soldiers, and he will try to capture some new territories. Okay, we will stop him, and so he will like invade, occupy Ukraine, you know, by some parts, and the main goal just occupy all Ukraine, and all these leaders like who support, and people who support this idea, let's stop this war because people are dying. They do not understand that if we will stop this war now, in the future people will die in more numerous quantities, so much more people will die, and definitely people will die. Of course, now our soldiers are dying and some civilians are dying, but in future, if Putin will capture new territories, he will make genocide of exactly civilian people, civilian Ukrainians, women, kids, children, on the territories, and much more people will die. So we just have no any other option as just continue this war. So I hope my explanation was clear, was understandable. Maybe, sorry, it was too long, but for me it was very important to explain exactly this question with this possible conversation and making peace with Putin, because we cannot do that at all. Okay, thank you for watching. You may congratulate me with Independence Ukraine Day on the 24th of August. I will be very happy to read your comments, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.